Here's a crazy reality. You will spend tens of thousands of hours of your life working for money. You'll stress about it, argue about it, and lose sleep over it. Yet, the chances are nobody ever sat you down and explained how the game of money is actually played. I'm not talking about the textbook definition of economics. I'm talking about the invisible architecture of the financial world, the unwritten rules designed by the people at the top specifically to keep the people at the bottom exactly where they are. If you feel like you're constantly falling behind no matter how hard you work, you need to hear this. Let's start with a simple question. What is money? Most people will tell you it's a tool to buy things, a store of value. But that's only half the truth. In modern society, money is nothing more than a shared illusion. It is 100% based on trust. Fiat currency, like the US dollar, has zero intrinsic value. It's not backed by gold, it's backed by public confidence. When your boss hands you a paycheck, they aren't handing you physical wealth. They are handing you an IOU. And if society woke up tomorrow and collectively stopped believing in that IOU, your bank account would be worthless. It only works because we all agree to play along. Centuries ago, a very smart, very small group of people realized something dangerous. If you can control that trust, you can control the world. So they built the modern banking system, and they made it just complicated enough that the average person would never question it. Here is how the trick works. When you deposit $1,000 into a bank, the bank doesn't put it in a safe with your name on it. They immediately turn around and lend it to someone else. This is called fractional reserve banking. But they don't just lend out the money they have. Banks are legally allowed to create new money digitally by issuing loans. Almost every dollar circulating in the economy today, beyond physical cash, was created because someone, somewhere, went into debt. Think about how insane that is. The system doesn't just encourage debt, it requires it. If nobody borrowed money, the economy would collapse. And because every loan comes with interest, there always needs to be more money tomorrow than there is today just to pay off the system. The engine demands perpetual, impossible growth. So how do they ensure this debt machine keeps churning? They hack your psychology. They engineered a culture where living in debt is perfectly normal. They feed you ads, movies, and social media posts that link your self-worth to your net worth. They train you to want the luxury car, the massive house, and the $1,200 phone you hold in your hand. And the best part for them? They let you have it all before you can actually afford it. Buy now, pay later. Debt allows you to time travel. You borrow from your future self to consume today, but in exchange, you trade away your freedom. You become trapped in an invisible cage of comfort. You can't quit the job you hate, you can't start that business, and you can't take risks because the bank expects its minimum payment on the first of the month. It's no wonder the average American household is drowning in $150,000 in debt. And when you fail, when you get hit with overdraft fees or 29% APRs, the system is designed to make you blame yourself. They want you to feel bad at math instead of realizing the math was rigged against you from day one. But there is another way to play. The people who actually understand money don't avoid debt entirely, they just use it differently. When the middle class borrows money, they buy liabilities, vacations, clothes, cars that lose value the second they leave the lot. When the wealthy borrow money, they buy assets, real estate, businesses, investments. They use the bank's money to buy things that put money back into their pockets. While you're paying interest with your hard-earned after-tax dollars, they are writing off their interest as a tax deduction. It's the exact same financial tool, but one group uses it to build chains and the other uses it to build empires. The wealthy understand the ultimate superpower of finance, compound interest, but they make sure it works for them, not against them. Yes, it's true that the game is unequal. The rich often have a massive head start. By the time the average person starts thinking about retirement in their 50s, a wealthy person's assets have been compounding for decades. The math was never meant to be in your favor. But knowing this changes everything. Understanding the illusion of money doesn't make your bills disappear, but it does cure you of the guilt. It stops you from blaming yourself for falling into traps that were set for you before you were even born. Once you see the matrix, you can choose not to plug in. You can refuse to let debt dictate your life choices. You can't change the global financial system, but you can change who it serves. You can make money work for you instead of spending your life working for it. The rules of the game are out there. You just have to be willing to learn them. If this video changed the way you look at money, hit the subscribe button. Every week, we break down the hidden systems that control your life so you can finally learn how to beat them. Don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching.